Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Whether you're behind the wheel or a passenger, rideshare companies like Uber and Lyft are becoming very popular right here in the Valley. But what happens if your car gets in an accident?
Think about it. You don't know the answer, do you? Well, I'll tell you who does know the answer. Kevin Parham, he's the CEO and founder of the RideShare Attorney Hotline. He's here to tell us who to call, what to do if this happens to us.
Yeah, help.
How are you, man?
Call the RideShare Attorney Hotline.
there it is. Goodbye, everybody.
And good night.
Let's talk about the RideShare Attorney Hotline.
Sure.
What inspired you to start this in the first place?
You know, I've been in the legal industry on and off for the last 15 plus years, and I started driving for Uber and Lyft about 5 years ago when it first came to Los Angeles. And one of my friends was like, hey, you know, you got a Prius, you're all over the state. Why don't you drive for Lyft or Uber? And I was like, well, what is that? So started driving for Lyft. 3 months later, they made me a mentor. Somewhere along the point, I had a mentee ask me, what happens if I get in a car accident? And he kind of stopped me in my tracks. And I was like, well, you know, I have a couple of attorneys that I can refer you to. Went and talked to some of the attorneys I had relationships with, and they were like, Kevin, you know, these are great cases, you know, let's talk about it. And over time, I took my, you know, experience in the legal industry and put it together, and the RideShare Attorney Hotline was born out of a result of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a natural progression. So speaking of your services, who can you help and what kind of help can you offer?
So we help both drivers and passengers that have been in a car accident with Lyft or Uber. There's other companies out there like Juno and Moving that are coming along as well, and they're pretty much in every major metro. Lyft and Uber have a $1 million policy that they set aside for situations like this. Not to say that every accident is going to be $1 million accident,
of course,
but there is money set aside for both the driver and the passenger in the case of an accident.
Is it only for the people within that Uber car or whoever they may hit as well?
Correct. So if I'm a driver and I'm not at fault, that policy would cover me.
Gotcha.
For passengers, it doesn't matter if the driver is at fault or if someone hits that vehicle. You know, they can call the RideShare Attorney Hotline. What we're doing now is recruiting attorneys in every major metro across the country to help both drivers and passengers. It's really, I mean, I have a love for the law, but I also have a love for people as well. And that's kind of how this was birthed. It was like, okay, look, and a lot of people were like, oh, I didn't even know. And I always thought about what, you know, if I get in a car accident while I'm in an Uber, what do I do?
Exactly.
Call the RideShare Attorney Hotline. We don't wish accidents to happen, but we know that they sometimes do. And you know, going through that whole process of finding an attorney, I mean, I actually go and I sit down and talk to attorneys in every metro that we recruit attorneys, and I pretty much have a hands-on with all the offices that we deal with.
Wow.
Okay, and that was my next question, is how do we know that we are being linked with a credible attorney or an attorney that we can trust?
Exactly. So like I said, I actually physically go and recruit attorneys across the country. They go through an interviewing process. I sit down with them, I talk to them about their practices, I talk about them just about how their intake process and how to best deal with our clients. You know, a lot of the clients that we have are millennials, and you know, they're like, they've never been in a car accident because they're not driving, they're taking Lyft or Uber.
Exactly.
So like, they're like, okay, wow, okay, there's this service out here. I had a young lady who called me in San Francisco. I said, well, how did you hear about us? Well, my mother heard about us on Facebook. I said, really? She said, I didn't know what to do. So my mom had basically went on Facebook, said, hey, my daughter's been in this situation. What should I do? And somebody typed in, call the RideShare Attorney Hotline.
Because this demographic, I mean, you know, for people that are younger, they don't necessarily have that law background.
Right.
They aren't thinking, I have to contact a lawyer. Everything's app-based nowadays.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what got them into an Uber and a Lyft in the first place. Is there an app for this?
Yes.
So you could put you could have a folder. You could have your Uber and your Lyft, and then you could also have the RideShare Attorney Hotline app, all within the same folder.
Exactly. So you could either reach us on our number, which is 888-418-4818, or you can go and download the app and be directly connected to an attorney from there.
Excellent.
Right. Interesting. And I know you have a strong online presence. You're on Instagram. You have a great advertisement on the Instagram, but you have this app. So someone contacts you, and then what is the process like after that?
So once they contact us, they'll be live connected to an attorney 24 hours a day. That attorney will take their case, evaluate it, and take them through the process. Essentially what we are the middleman. So we actually, our clients are both the driver passengers and the attorneys. So we connect the
bridge
dots.
the gap,
So
exactly.
we bridge the gap and bring everybody together.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
makes sense.
Congratulations on a great idea. And
Thank you.
Continued,
Thanks, Kevin.
continued love for what you're doing.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.
right. Yep.
Contact the RideShare Attorney Hotline by dialing the number on your screen. You can also look for them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The RideShare Attorney Hotline is a proud sponsor of The Morning Blend.